You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys. In case you did not know this, the Dallas Cowboys are in need of a head football coach because they unexpectedly parted ways with Mike McCarthy, although I don't know how unexpected it really was. Although Troy Aikman, who we will get to because he crushed the Cowboys in the dust, came out and said he thought Mike McCarthy was still going to be the coach. And that's pretty astonishing because I thought Troy was pretty locked in with the organization, and evidently he's not. Now, I'm going to throw this out there. If anybody's noticing how well Tom Brady is doing right now with the Raiders and the kind of attention he's drawing from coaches, Jerry Jones, you might want to call up Troy Aikman and give him some kind of a position. Team president, general manager. Oh, you're not going to do it because that's you. Okay. Well, now there's still a world, I hear, where Mike McCarthy could come back around and still rejoin the team and return. They never even got to annual salary. The problem was length of contract. All right, Jerry wanted something short, probably 2 years, maybe an option for a third. I'm sure McCarthy wants something more like 4 or 5 years with an option for a fifth or sixth. Well, we're going to get to some candidates in just a second because there's a couple of big-ass names out there. Now, yesterday we talked about Belichick because right now, North Carolina football and the ACC commissioner, well, they're in freak-out mode right now because for whatever reason, Bill Belichick's not hiring a staff as of yet. Got a $10 million buyout, nothing for Jerry Jones. But there's two other big names that's emerged, and one of them I don't think will surprise a lot of people from Colorado football. And, of course, he is a big-time alum of the Dallas Cowboys, and Jerry loves him. That's prime time, of course. And the other one of my favorites, guy we've talked about a lot on this channel because he got a raw deal by the NFL, and that guy would be named Jon Gruden. And I personally know some Cowboys fans that would love it if Chucky got this job. So let's check this out. This is Troy Aikman going full Death Star on the planet Alderaan known as the Dallas Cowboys. Wow, I got nerdy.
For too long, but this job's as coveted as any because you're going to run the Dallas Cowboys. In what direction do you think they ought to look?
Well, I thought Mike McCarthy would be the head coach, so this is a bit of a surprise for me today that he's not going to be. And what went into those conversations that Schefter talked about, I'm not exactly sure, but it suggests that there's not a real plan. I mean, and the fact that they haven't had the opportunity to maybe interview a Ben Johnson and some of these others, Aaron Glenn. I think that what Schefter said as far as Kellen Moore being a candidate, that seems logical to me. A guy who has familiarity with the building. He's worked obviously with the Cowboys and with Jerry Jones, and they know each other very well. In fact, when Mike McCarthy got the job, it was told to Mike that Kellen Moore would be the offensive coordinator. So that's how much the Jones family thinks of him. Beyond that, it's hard to imagine. As far as a coveted job, I don't know that that's accurate. I mean, really? I do think the Cowboys are obviously a high-profile team. Whoever is covered or whoever is head coach of that team is certainly going to draw a lot of attention. But I think most football people that take over as a head coach, they want to do it on their terms.
That's
and
fair.
That's hard to do. And it's, if you take a Dan Campbell, for instance, is Dan Campbell if he's with the Dallas Cowboys? It's hard to imagine that he is. It's hard to imagine that a lot of these coaches might be. So I love the Dallas Cowboys. I played there for 12 years. I wish them well. But to say that it's a coveted job, I'm not sure I would necessarily agree with that.
Maybe.
Ouch. Obviously, it's the most high-profile gig in the National Football League. Still, I mean, it gets national attention on a daily basis. Now, fans of other teams are like, will you please quit talking about the Cowboys and the bleeping Lakers? And, of course, I'm looking right at Fox Sports and ESPN when I say that. But even in the comments section, I mean, it's war in the comments section because you got a lot of people agreeing with Troy and a lot of people pissed off at Troy. Right here, I don't agree with Troy. It's highly coveted. It's the most prestigious coaching position in all of football. I mean, is it? I don't know. It's probably the most difficult in football because of Jerry, right? A lot of people are like, he's dead on here. You know, Troy knows the Cowboys well. Definitely not a coveted job. This guy says, I'm not sure about this. Troy Aikman was fortunate enough to have some of the greatest teammates and one of the best coaches in the league. This person says, I mean, he's right. This person says, damn. You know, I mean, it is odd. I've always told John Matrix, of course, he's a big Cowboys fan. I always told him it's crazy to me that a team like the Dallas Cowboys doesn't always have one of the biggest D-swinging coaches in all the world all the time. And I'm talking about real names, right? It amazes me. You know, yeah, they went and got Parcells at one time. But it's amazing that, like, a Belichick is available. You know, Jim Harbaugh was available last year. No, we're not interested. Jon Gruden's out there. I mean, these big names, I feel like, should always represent the Dallas Cowboys, and they never do. And part of that to be Jerry's ego, right? So, quote, this is Adam Schefter last night breaking the news. Deion Sanders in a direct quote about the Cowboys' job because Jerry evidently has got some interest in Deion, and it sure sounds like, you know, Deion's got some interest going the other way. To hear from Jerry Jones is truly delightful. It's intriguing, Deion told ESPN Monday night. I love Jerry. I believe in Jerry. After you hang up and process it and think about it, it's intriguing. But I love Boulder and everything there is about our team, the coaches, our student body, and the community. Can Deion possibly pass on this job if he can take it? The coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if he can say that. Really. I mean, from Colorado football to Dallas Cowboys coach. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has spoken with Colorado HC Deion Sanders about the head coaching vacancy. Discussions are expected to continue regarding the possibility of him becoming the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Coach Prime is considered a top candidate, though Cowboys plan to interview other candidates. So Deion Sanders, this was last night. Jordan Schultz of Fox Sports, one of their insiders, by the way, a guy that broke the news about Belichick and the Cowboys yesterday. Deion Sanders is considered a top candidate. And here are the other candidates in mind. Look, Kellen Moore, it wouldn't shock me if he's the one that gets the job. But boy, Cowboy fans, whoa, good luck with that. I mean, I just don't know. All right. Fort Worth Star-Telegram, Nick Harris. This was the names that have emerged. A couple of really interesting names on here, too, by the way. Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, not an interesting name. Former NFL head coach Jon Gruden. Let's see if Jerry's got the balls for that. Former Dallas Cowboys tight end Jason Witten. Okay. I mean, look, I know Jason's got pedigree, but I would call him out for the same thing I called out the Patriots and Gerard Mayo for. He doesn't have head coaching experience, or at least a lengthy associate head coaching, et cetera, coordinator, that kind of background. And you might be like, well, wouldn't you call out Deion? Well, yeah, but Deion's been a head coach at multiple programs. In college, I mean, that's something that a Gerard Mayo did not have. All right? And not only that, but at least Deion took a 1-win Colorado team, and they won 9 games 2 years later. You have any idea how hard that is to do at a program like Colorado? It's unheard of. Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson, former head coach. Commanders offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury, I could see that. Pete Carroll, I could see that. And Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. Eventually, Lane's going to make it back to the NFL at some point. I don't know when it's going to be. But I think he's acknowledged he wasn't ready for the Raiders job. Now, I don't know. But boy, I think the Cowboys fan base would lose their mind if it ends up being Lane Kiffin. You want to talk about controversial. And Kellen Moore is not going to make Cowboys fans happy. I can tell you that right now. It's not going to do it. Cowboy fans couldn't stand Kellen Moore when he was here as an offensive coordinator. You're going to make him the head coach? Oh, shit. Good luck. Wow. By the way, I didn't hate Mike McCarthy. I mean, 12 consecutive or 3 consecutive 12-win seasons. So he's going to get hired. He's liable to get hired. Saints, Bears, liable to hire him. Just bring in and stabilize their franchises. Deion Sanders, that's very interesting. Troy crushed them in the dirt. Prime is the top candidate. Wow. Not surprised, though. I said it. I did a lot of videos about Deion over the course of the last year, and in most of them, I'm sure I mentioned he's going to eventually be the Dallas Cowboys head coach. Here we are. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.